Ever since I was born, I've been using window managers. I came out of the womb and I just tiled into the corner like you buy. And I've gone through a lot of different iterations of them. But I finally arrived on kind of a stable situation that I hope will last forever. And it's just very consistent, very fast, very simple. So the idea is, I kind of took this from the Primogen, but other people have done this too. You have different spaces, and I'm using spaces with Aerospace, which is a native Mac window manager. And those spaces always stay the same, so you always have the same app in them. So the first one for me is Alacrity, that has like all my code stuff in it. And then the second one is always the web browser, Firefox. The third one is always Spotify. And the fourth one changes from time to time. Usually it's Figma. And then there's a secondary kind of fifth one where Finder lives, but I don't use Finder all that much, just for previews sometimes. So you have those five and they always stay the same. And that way it's super predictable. You have option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go to the different ones. Then I have this other thing that I wrote. If you heard of srhd, it's just a Rust rewrite of that. And if you don't know what that is, it basically just lets you press a key on your keyboard that you define, and then it does some kind of code. So for me, I just have it defined to open apps when I hit different things. I kind of arrived at somewhat semantic names for them. So I have option A opens Alacrity, that makes sense. Option S, Spotify. Option F, Figma. But for some reason my browser is option L. I don't know why, but that just stuck. And that program, I rewrote in Rust because I wanted a TOML configuration file, because srhd's configuration file is a little weird. It's kind of their own text scheme, and I didn't like it all that much. And it's actually not that necessary because Aerospace does this itself. And there's plenty of other things to do this. There's like Hammerspoon, Space Launcher, Raycast will even do it. There's hundreds of hotkey daemons. This one just happens to be in Rust with TOML, which is my preferred configuration method. So keep all the same things in the spaces. I have an automatic setting in Aerospace that anytime I open any of these windows, it'll just bring it to the correct space. Sometimes I want two windows side by side, rarely, but in the case where I'm working on some kind of document and I need to preview it at the same time, for instance, a math paper with types to preview, sometimes I'll just bring it over side by side, option shift, and then a number will move a window over to the space of that number. So option shift 1, when I'm on a browser window, would move it over next to my terminal. And then I can have them side by side. They're tiled by Aerospace. Aerospace is a little glitchy sometimes with certain apps, like the Godot engine. It doesn't work that well with. So I just disable it and everything works okay. I can just option or alt command tab to the different things. But yeah, super stable, very predictable, not flashy. People show crazy like tiling carousels and they've got their neo-fetch and 10 things, but the reality is you don't need any of that. It's all just kind of distracting. And some people have hella keyboard shortcuts to get all these things. I'm kind of working on that for the types preview, but honestly, this is good enough for me. So yeah.